Hello everyone on the internet and thanks for tuning in. This is RyuKiva from RyuKiva Toku with another Toku unboxing. Today I am doing the Seihou Kamen Rider Black. This guy is my favourite series, one of my favourite characters overall from the whole Kamen Rider franchise. So when they announced the Seihou edition, I was absolutely blown away. So I bought this around that 7,000 yen mark, new clearly, literally has only just come out. And that did include all the taxes and import. So looking at the box, there's no real surprises. You've got a basic shot, basic grainy shot of the figure, got the Tamashii Nation quality seal of approval, designed by Tamashii Nations in China, Bandai Spirits made in China. Doesn't actually give the year on the front actually. Tamashii Nation logo, Bandai logo, Masked Rider Black. They use the anglified version rather than Kamen Rider. S.H.Figuarts on both top and bottom. On the back, not really looked at this yet, so just to actually quickly analyse. So we've got a basic standing pose, a basic henshin pose, and two action poses. S.H.Figuarts toei seal of approval at the top there. Ages 15 and up, so don't be choking on it. And the rest is pretty much in Japanese with a couple of contact details. Now, so on with this unboxing, so breaking those new seals there on the sides. But just kind of a quick note, so I have obviously seen a few people already have their Kamen Rider Black Seihou edition. I mean, I did review the renewal version a while back, so, and that was standard as was. But with this version, I've seen so many horror stories, mainly that the joints are fragile, so snapped elbows, and the shoulder joints being very fragile. So you got like the typical print, again, still don't know what that says in the inside of the top box, but that's always like that. So looking at the inlay, I mean, I believe he does come with a sword, but we've got 6 pairs of hands, so even number of hands and an even number pair. Actually, this is something I didn't know. Apparently, the antenna come off. Note the direction, warning delicate. That's pretty much the only English, and then I think they've kind of given a sort of I don't really normally pay attention, but they seem to have given sort of like a rough translation at the top here. So I'm still not going to try to decipher it. But now, so I'm going to go straight to the bottom first. Right, there we go. Right, I see. So there is two different set of antenna. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, the back of the box doesn't really indicate why, but I will have a delicate play around with that shortly. So that's basic. So actually, I was pretty sure this came with a sword. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen people post online with a sword. So here's the big moment, the actual figure. And again, I am such a fiend when it comes to snapping elbows, but hearing about the shoulders snapping, I'm going to be so hella careful with this. So I'm going to try peel away the plastic for the hot second. So not too much plastic going on. Actually, you know what? I mean, just kind of looking at it from the off, the shoulders seem a little bit more dropped than I've seen online. But I can see like the sort of grainy effects, because I think, if I'm honest, from the shots from the 80s show, like that's normally a plain brown in the joints, sort of like the way the renewal version is. So I've already seen it online, I'm seeing it in person now, but those are like a sort of wood grain, like black and brown in those joints, as well as in the upper thigh or lower hip. Again, I've even got some tiny details in those knees, and again, I've heard the knees are supposed to be quite delicate as well. Doing it now, this knee feels quite loose, this leg feels quite loose, this one feels a little bit tighter, so it's neither here nor there. I've still got to get this plastic out. Right, so that's one bit, and right, that's just about pulling out, and I'm just trying to be right. So that's all the plastic out. So I'm going to be so hella careful. I mean, I'm actually sat down. Normally I'm standing up when I'm doing these. In this new set, like where I've had this new set for a while. I normally still stand up. So yeah, right, so the lower knee is flexible. So again, I'm going bottom up. I mean, again, that one's quite loose. So again, I've heard that there's quality issues. With the upper knee, it's very much, you've got to click it bit by bit, almost like the Lightning Collection in a sense. But that is, you've really got to be hella, I can see that already, you've really got to be hella careful. And it's still got this little bit of a rubbery texture. With the lower thigh, well, sort of like the lower upper thigh, if that makes sense. I mean, this leg actually does feel quite loose. I mean, this is definitely a new figure without shadow of a doubt. And actually, like, I'm looking at the knee joint, I don't know why it's got that play. So they've kind of made it like the newer elbows in the Heisei Riders. Again, I don't really see why they've done that. That's a bit pointless in my opinion. I mean, in terms of the detailing, I've got to give the detailing its dues. I mean, the eyes have it in this one. I mean, the detailing with the sort of yellow and red lines and the helmet, it looks gorgeous, absolutely. I mean, the neck's a bit fat and it does kind of bend. Again, it's got that Lightning Collection sort of vibe about that neck. But again, helmet looks amazing, but the chest plate looks amazing with detail. It's kind of got that grainy texture to it, so that's pretty cool. You got silver running along sort of like the middle torso. Looking at the belt now, I mean, I'm not sure if, I mean, that belt, I mean, at least with the belt they've got that on point, so it's not, because a good portion of my figures the belt's too loose, whereas this belt is so snug, so that's great. I'm actually going to go for the elbows now. Well, actually working on the arms. Yeah, I could see like it's a curved piece, and again, I've seen this quite online. I've seen quite a few people snap the elbows. The elbows are double jointed, and actually they are ridiculously thin. So like when you do bend it, you can see how thin the elbow is. It's quite, again, that's quite a quality issue. Yeah, that's going to be a sort of care issue for anyone like me who is heavy-handed. And again, it's kind of like you do get the, I mean, the shoulder pads. I mean, I've complained in so many figures having these like loose shoulder pads or knee pads or elbow pads. I mean, at least, even though this figure is set up like that, those shoulder pads aren't too bad. I mean, there's a little bit of play. I mean, fair play, literally. So I'm actually surprised that that's only a little bit of play, and yeah, like it will probably stay in spot as long as you don't snap the shoulder. Now this arm is a lot tighter than that arm. I mean, again, it's a definitely quality issue. It's an inconsistent issue because like that leg's stiff, this leg's loose. This arm is kind of a little stiff, but this arm is very stiff. So I've really got to be careful. So I'm going to end, well, right, so two more things. So I'm going to try some balancing. And again, this is, I've got to be so careful. I can feel how delicate and fat. I mean, this takes me back to like a sort of regular standard SHF Showa rider. This is what this guy feels like. I mean, he has a little bit better detail, but I think it has paid a heavy price. And I'll be honest, like in terms of look, this guy has it, but in terms of sort of manipulability and delicacy and even balancing, it's definitely the renewal version that's better, and that really sucks. So like, even if I was to go on one leg, say, like if I was to try to do, I mean, this is it, like if I'm going to start doing photography, there is going to be a good chance that I'm going to end up breaking this at some point. I can feel it. I can feel how very bad. Yeah, like again, it looks amazing, but the actual quality of the joints, definitely, I can feel it. I mean, like, yeah, like I'm trying to pose the ankles. The ankles don't even swivel from side to side. They twist. And I could see the joint, it's supposed to flex sideways. Actually, it does, but it's very stiff. But again, it's, I don't know how anyone's going to pose with this without using a stand or clever trick. And then there's a case of, will someone break it? I mean, somehow I've managed to pull that off. I really don't know how. So I'm going to look at the hands real quick. Yeah, we've got some open hands, some 2-finger hands, some kind of splayed finger hands, some karate chop hands, and then claw hands, or jazz hands. I haven't used that expression for a while. I'll use some jazz hands because I haven't done that for a very long time. Right, so these antenna. Right, it's kind of very similar to the Seihou O's, where it's like you've got like a little kit that you kind of snap parts off. I don't know if these are supposed to be spares. I mean, I'll have a quick comparison. I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know why they've included an extra set of antenna. I don't know if they're supposed to be spare or if they're supposed to make the figure itself look different. So I'm literally just going to end this by... Right, so actually those have a nice rubbery texture to the actual hands. But looking at the ball joints, again, it reminds me, you know, like bearing in mind I only finished uploading Deca Ranger last week and I did Go Busters before and the show, yeah, like I'm going through the Showa Riders as well. But yeah, like the earlier Showa Riders, 70s Riders rather. But the fact that he has such a small wrist ball joint, I mean, at least the texture of the hands are soft, that should be okay. But again, there's such a delicacy issue with this figure and I'm pretty sure I will break it at some point. But, so trying to do one more pose, and again, this leg is so loose, it kind of unnerves me a little bit. I mean, I don't know if that's sort of like a mixture of Michael Jackson's Bad or Michael Jackson's Thriller. But that, I'll end on this pose that I'm about to do. Alright, so again, you've really got to take care with each joint. I can feel it, like again, it's so nerve-wracking. I'm surprised I've actually made it through this video without breaking it. Right, so to be fair, I've got him on his tippy toe right now. Well, on one tippy toe. And then I did flex that other ankle earlier. So, just trying to end it now. So even though most of the information I've disclosed is pretty much out there already, hopefully you guys have appreciated seeing it in action. And so I've got a couple more weeks left of uploads before I finally complete Series 5, so it was quite cool that I got to put this particular figure in the lineup. But of course, even after the final series ends, the next Seihou release is going to be Xeranos, and hopefully they'll have better quality issues. We'll have better quality in terms of the joints than this figure does. So I hope you enjoyed that. See you next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out my website at ryukivatoku.weebly.com, as well as my other social media for more content and my relevant pages for business contributions and inquiries. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. See you next time.